بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has gathered us here once again and given us life so that we can witness another blessed month of Ramadan. This is indeed a great favor from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us. Allah says, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. If you begin to count the favors of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you will not be able to count them. So we have to be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all that He has given us. And the month of Ramadan is a month of barakah, is a month of blessing, is a month of becoming closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is a month where it becomes easier to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Immense rahmah, mercy is raining down from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All we need to do is open our hearts and absorb the rahmah and the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is raining down in abundance. And it is a month where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes performing ibadah very easy. In a hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says that everything has a door, and the door of ibadah is fasting. So when we fast, automatically we feel like doing ibadah. We see ourselves that even if it's fasting a nafal fast, Monday or Thursday, then we see ourselves staying away from sins even more, reciting more Quran, doing more dhikr. Automatically we become aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is one ni'mah that Allah has bestowed upon us. So we should utilize this month in the best of manners. And that is doing every action that pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and staying away from any action that displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah chained the shayateen away as well, so that there is no distraction for us. So inshallah, every day before Taraweeh starts, after Isha Salah, as our usual schedule, we will be inshallah giving some advice, sharing some reflections from the Quran, Hadith, and inshallah we can try and implement these because they are for ourselves. It's a means of our own tarbiyah and self-development. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He took an oath from the Banu Israel. And similar oath was also taken from the believers. So Allah says, وَإِذْ أَخَذْنَا مِيثَاقَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ لَا تَعْبُدُونَ إِلَّا اللَّهَ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. That when we took a covenant from the Banu Israel, which stated that you should worship none other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you have to be kind to parents. وَذِي الْقُرْبَى, and your relatives. وَالْيَتَامَى وَالْمَسَاكِينَ, the orphans and the needy. وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, speak kindly to people, speak good words to people. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first He commands us to be good to people, meaning by actions, we have to have good actions. Worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be good to our parents and the other people. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then He says, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, and say good words to people. So actions have to be good, and our speech also has to be good. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَأَقِيمُوا الصَّلَاةَ وَآتُوا الزَّكَاةَ, and you should pray and you should grant your zakat, give your zakat. So now the Arabic word for husna here for good, the Arabic word used is husna, which translates as speak to people good words. And in other recitations, we all know there is 7 qira'ah of the Quran. In the qira'ah of Hamza and Qisa'i, it is recited as not husna, but rather hasana. So when we say وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حَسَنًا, which means speak to people with goodness. So when you put the two meanings together, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, speak what is the best. Meaning your speech has to be the best, good speech. And also the manner by which you speak to people, that also has to be the best. So the first recitation is a description of what should be said. And the second qira'ah is a description of how it has to be said. And we all know that words can either cause pleasure or pain. They can bring happiness or they can bring sorrow. And we learn from experience and also the revelation, the hadith, that the repercussions of our words are immense. With one word, a person can become a Muslim, and with one word, he can leave the fold of Islam. With one word, your marriage, you become lawfully married, and with one word, your marriage can end. In a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that a person may utter a word which pleases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he doesn't give much importance to what words he has uttered, what he has said. But because of the words he has said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will raise him to very high degrees of reward. And similarly, a person may utter a word which displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala without him thinking of the words he had said, without thinking them to be significant. But these words, they cause so much harm and they displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that because of them, he will be thrown into the fire of Jahannam. And if we look at those people who will enter Jahannam, and you trace all the hadith and the Quranic verses, then you will see that most people will enter Jahannam because of what they had said. The Prophet ﷺ, he was asked about the main reason why people will enter Jannah. So he said, Taqwa Allah wa husnul khuluq. Taqwa, consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we attain taqwa by fasting. And husnul khuluq, by having good manners. And when he was asked, what is the main reason for people's entry into the fire of Jahannam? What do you say? Al-fam wal-faraj. The mouth and the private parts. And another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Man yazman li ma bayna lihiyai wa ma bayna fakhidai adman lahu al-jannah." The one who guarantees to me the good use of what's between his jaws, meaning the tongue, the mouth, and the private parts, then I guarantee for him Jannah. So from these hadith, we learn that we have to be careful with what we say as well. And when it comes to fasting, we have to be even more careful. In hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, any person who does not leave qawl az-zur. Qawl az-zur means evil deeds, evil words. Qawl az-zur means evil words, useless words, futile talk, gunah ki baatein, beshhayahi, besharmi ki baatein. So all these bad words, wal amali bihi, and actions which are evil as well. So both, you don't leave that your tongue is evil and your actions are also evil. Then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, فَلَيْسَ لِلَّهِ حَاجَةٌ فِي أَنْ يَدَعَ طَعَامَهُ وَشَرَابَهُ. Allah does not need your abandoning of drink and food. Meaning your fasting is rejected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah does not need your fast. So on one hand, you are putting so much effort. But because you're not careful of your words, then you're wasting away all the effort that you are putting. Ali radiallahu anhu, he would say that Ala inna siyama laysa min at-ta'am wash-sharab. That fasting is not merely staying away from food and drink. So it's not just about eating and drinking or staying away from food and drink. Walakin min al-kadhib wal-batil wal-law. But you stay away from lying, from falsehood, from vain talk. So meaning that if we don't utilize our tongue properly, then we are not utilizing our fasting properly. And it's mentioned he would say this after Fajr and after Asr. Why? Because these are the most important times where we should involve ourselves in the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And most of the differences that take place between us, whether it's family members, community, friends, whatever it is, it's not deep issues that are difficult to resolve, but rather it's because the way we express ourselves. The way we express ourselves. In other words, the problem lies in poor choice of wording. ज़्यादातर हमारे आपस में इख्तिलाफ होता है, वो कोई बड़ी बात नहीं रहती अक्सर, मगर जिस तरह हमने किसी को कुछ कहा या किस तरह हमने कहा, कौन से अल्फाज हमने इस्तेमाल किए. So then we have to be very, very careful, and we can stay away from the disasters of life and the afterlife by simply sticking to this hukam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. Allah says, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, and say good to people. Your speech should be good, and the manner that you say is good. So in the month of Ramadan, we need to practice this principle. قُلْ خَيْرٌ أَوْ لِيَصْمُتْ, say something good or stay silent. In our mashayikh, when they used to spend Ramadan with the mashayikh, they had three principles: less eating, less talking, and less sleeping. Other Shaykh Rahmatullah used to say, you can sleep as much as you want and you can eat as much as you want, but one thing which is not allowed is talking. Don't talk. Why? Because if you start talking, then you will end up misusing your tongues and you will waste away your time and your actions as well. So we make intention today, inshallah, this month of Ramadan, that we will utilize our speech, our tongue, in the most perfect of manner. We will say something good, use it for ibadah, Quran, dhikr, tilawat, saying nice things to people. And if we cannot do that, then we will stay silent. Make intention, inshallah. Jazakallah.